Good afternoon. This is the Thursday, March 5th, 2020 meeting of the Athens City Planning Commission. We have 4 members present, 1 absent, and let's see, a quorum has been established. Is there anyone who intends on speaking to the Planning Commission today? Just raise your right hand. And do you solemnly swear to tell the truth to the Athens City Planning Commission as you know it? Thank you very much. Disposition of minutes. I will move that we table that because we don't have enough members present to vote on that. Would someone make a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we'll table the minutes till the next meeting. There are no cases on the docket today. Communications. Title 41, Site Plan Preliminary Review of the East Elementary School, PK through 3, and at 3 Wallace Drive. Good afternoon, David. Do you care to update us on this?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think we've got folks from the project. They've got some information to present to the board, so I could just go ahead and let them, if that's okay with you, let them go.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Stacy Rose with Shore Architects. I will start with a quick video that shows the overall exterior look and feel as well as the site of the new Athens East Elementary School. This is looking down Lloyd at what will be the play areas, hardscape and softscape. The back of the building where the media center arts, visual arts would be. And then turning, now we're looking at the courtyard side of the classroom wing. To the west entrance, be primarily the main entrance for the bus drop-off. Looking down what will be the connector where we extend Verona all the way to Wallace. That will stack the buses for a bus drop-off in the mornings and afternoons. And then now we're looking along Wallace. This is the student dining, and then beside that would be the gymnasium. And then back to the main front entry, which is at the corner of Wallace and Maplewood. So I'm going to pull up the landscape plan. I'm hoping it... I could talk through most of the site highlights here from this landscape plan, but we can certainly pull up some of the technical drawings if we don't have any questions. So what we saw, so this is Maplewood and Wallace. So the building is situated with the main entry on that corner. With a building sign and a nice plaza and a bike rack. The intent is that we will have parent drop-off along this Maplewood-Wallace. One of the challenges we were working to overcome with this design is to separate the student drop-off from the bus drop-off, which is right now all on top of each other, so we wanted to alleviate that. So we are proposing to bring Verona and connect it all the way to Wallace, allowing buses to stack along that drive and then drop off using this main west entry. And then connecting on to sort of this behind Lloyd, which is a little bit of an alley back there. So we have a courtyard space proposed. So this is the main classroom wing and a courtyard space that would also serve outdoor learning opportunities as well as soft surface play, hard surface play, and another soft surface play playground. We have incorporated a fire access lane directly off of Maplewood, and those combined areas would serve as green space for play as well. We will look at putting a paver underneath, and it would actually have grass on top of it, so it should handle the weight of the trucks, but for every other day it would be grass. We do have new parking, so I'll go through kind of the logistics and functions. So we have a lower, what we're calling the lower parking lot, which has 14 spaces, and that would also locate, the electric vehicle preferred parking would also be in this lot. Off of that lot, we have a transformer generator yard and then a dumpster enclosure directly behind it. We actually tucked it behind the transformer generator yard to screen it a little bit more. Main deliveries in the kitchen are located here. So this would be the receiving area. It's not a dock, just a receiving lane with a door, an overhead door and a regular door. So it should be easy access in and out of the building directly to the dumpster yard. Coming up along Verona, as I mentioned, the buses would stack along here and students could get off the bus to come to this west entry. They are able to use these stairs to this entry, but it is not at this time ADA, but it is still an entrance, so that is also available. The upper lot, we have 24 spaces plus our ADA parking spaces. At this point, you're up to higher grades, so all of the grades work nicely for direct access to this west entrance, which would also serve as the ADA entrance. We are proposing a half-court basketball play area for times on the weekends or other community uses. And then between the two parking spaces, we're leaving green space open for the district to eventually put maybe community garden and maybe even natural scaping. So those are the main highlights for the site plan.
How many parking places, ADA parking places, are you proposing?
We have 3. So one thing I did not mention, along Wallace, there's existing ADA parking along Maplewood, but we are actually proposing to provide compliant 2 ADA spots along Wallace. So they actually pull off of Wallace and they kind of notch in so that we can get the right widths and get them into compliant size. I'm sure that's on my site.
When you refer to like a soft surface, is there places, for instance, with basketball in mind or something of that nature?
So basketball play would only have the half court on this parking lot. There is not currently a half court space in this hard surface within the courtyard.
On the parking lot?
This for community, we have this as a kind of a nicety for community members, but we do not have a half court exterior basketball court. Instead, we have the tetherball type things, funnel ball, proposed for the hardscape play area. It's pre-K to 3rd grade, so that actually was not a requirement to have, and we discussed it with the district, and we were okay with not providing it on the hard surface within the courtyard space.
To be clear, the connector between Wallace, the Verona connector, it says it's one way. The direction is from Wallace toward East State?
Right, correct. It'd come from Wallace one way to the west towards State Street.
And would that access be available at all times, or would there be a
No,
gate?
The district does not intend to have this being public or cut through. It would be used for the bus lane drives. However, portions will still remain available two-way up into this entry to, say, this parking lot. It'll be two-way into the lot and out. And again, off of Wallace, in and out, and for trash trucks to get to the dumpsters, in and out. During the times when we're doing bus drop-off, should traffic come in and we're stacking buses, we did incorporate a cut-through, so an additional curb cut off onto Wallace to allow traffic that does get into this lot to come out without backtracking through where we have the bus stacks.
Could you tell me how many buses you imagine
We proposed about 6 to 8 is what we were originally
Okay.
had in our design planning.
And I guess you probably wouldn't know. I was going to ask if there was any change there. Is the Wallace going to stay one way?
Yes, we believe it will remain as is one way at this time.
Okay. One more question. What if there are still people living on Verona, right?
There is one house on the corner of Lloyd and Verona.
Okay.
One of the problems that you're facing right now with East-West is you have a limited drop-off area in the mornings, and that limited area is often occupied by people who just park and wait for staff to come down. So it kind of defeats the purpose of being able to have a space to drop your child off to the steps unless you're driving way down. This could be a problem with Maplewood. Again, people just occupying spaces that, do you see this basically as just literally a drop-off? And where would parents go if they want to wait until the doors officially open or of that nature?
I think they would. We talked about stacking along this Maplewood Drive and Wallace currently, and so what we're removing off of that congested time is the buses. So I believe that would still be the case, that they would stack for drop-off.
I'd be happy.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
Morning. Do you want me to?
Yes, just come up.
Yeah.
Please state your name and your title.
Thomas Gibbs, Superintendent of the Athens City School District. So the current situation at East Elementary School was there were 400 to 430 students in any given year, and that there was no off-street parking for faculty and staff, and there was no separation of traffic for buses and auto pickup, parent pickup. So in this instance, we've actually improved the situation by providing off-street parking for faculty and staff, which will increase the availability of parking in the neighborhood for parents to pick up and drop off, and then secondarily separating out the bus traffic from the auto traffic by having the driveway. So compared to East Elementary School as it stood a year ago, and as it will stand in 18 months or so, it's a significant improvement in regards to safety and traffic congestion in the neighborhood, as well as parking in front of private homes in the neighborhood. Is there still an opportunity for folks to just show up super early and take up spots? Yes, there is, but I don't see that there's a plausible means of having a surefire way to resolve that issue completely.
I'm wondering about the turn radius on that street, because the kids not waiting for the other bus, have been stopping the traffic. I don't go on State Street that much, but they hit the button. I was just wondering if there's enough room to get those great big buses onto that, or are you just going to use little bitty ones?
Yeah, so what we would typically do, we've had internal conversations with our transportation supervisor. Typically buses coming to East Elementary School currently, or up until this year, would come down Ohio Avenue, turn left onto Wallace, and then they'd turn right onto Morris to get out of the neighborhood. So essentially they would come straight across Wallace into our driveway, up that driveway, and then they'd come out to Verona on State Street. So what we'll likely do is turn left onto State Street, which gives us a wider turning radius, and then right onto Columbus Road and back to our garage in the Plains.
But you also had buses that were going down Maplewood as well, right? I know that.
We had one until just this past year. We tried to do away with that completely to do as best we could, given that scenario of separating the auto traffic from the bus traffic, because it was getting hung up on Maplewood because of folks parking on both sides of the street.
And the narrowness.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, where are the trash receptacles going to be on Verona?
They're on the other side of that driveway that's going to be created.
Okay.
So in between the two parking lots.
So with the student pickup or drop-off being buses on Wallace and parents on Maplewood, we don't envision a situation where we had at East where the garbage trucks would basically back up in the mornings when people were dropping off their kids, tying up the traffic, and also possibly, putting the children at risk. So that's not going to be a situation.
So in this instance, just the buses will actually be on the driveway, which will be Verona. The parents could be Wallace and Maplewood, and theoretically even stack as far as Lloyd. In regards to the trash trucks, we'll need to coordinate with the city to make sure. In any instance, you run the risk that you're going to tie up traffic. Having lived, as you know, 2 blocks from this school for years,
Right.
The trash trucks going down any one of these individual streets in the Near East Side neighborhood blocks the entire street, and,
Right.
and you either have to wait or go around. So is there that potential? Certainly. Will we talk with the city to try to come up with a schedule that doesn't conflict with bus pickup and drop off? That would be our hope.
Yeah, I hope that both parties are more aware of that this time around, because I know I had to call about 3 or 4 times and talk with either Paula or Andy. It's the fact that the garbage trucks would come down Maplewood, turn briefly on Wallace, and then back up to the trash area. And like I said, I don't think they had a great view when they're backing up. That was a problem, not to mention the fact, as I said, it stopped the flow of traffic of the parents. So, I hope that that's going to get smoothed out. Amen. Thank you.
I just have a quick question about the 2 accessible parking spaces on Wallace. So essentially, folks would have to get all the way to the other side of the building for the accessible entrance to the building. Is that right?
No. Actually, along all of the entrances are accessible except for the one on Verona. There is an accessible entrance at the student dining along Wallace,
Okay.
and the main entry is accessible.
Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Any other questions right now?
We done? I don't have an extraneous thing for the record. I was wondering if, I'd already talked to Andrew, but could somebody look at Maplewood, East State to whatever that is, Maplewood, the first block of Maplewood has huge, it looks like my Prius was scraping all the way down. And it's bricks, and it looks like the guys doing demolition must have driven their great big honking trucks out of there.
I can respond to that if you
You weren't doing demolition, were you?
Well, no, those weren't our trucks. Our trucks used Verona to come in and out, or the trucks from
It was somebody
Utility
who did.
Construction. Those have been like that for several years. You're talking about the alley that connects East State Street.
No, it's a city street. It's bad, but it's a city street.
But it's the brick way that starts
Yes.
at State Street and goes to, that has been, having lived in that neighborhood for years, that has been that way for several years now, and I'm not sure what
I was going to try and get them to do something about it, but I knew it wasn't your problem. I knew it was
Yeah.
a city problem.
Now, just as a side note, if the city's interested, the person who owns the rental house on the one side of that way has expressed an interest in selling, so there could be an opportunity to improve Maplewood as a through street.
Mm-hmm. That would be good.
So,
We do need. I just on an accidental basis went down that street and it was bad. That's why I asked.
Anything else?
Mr. Chair, we had comments both from fire, code, and engineering came back. Most of those have been addressed. With note for you, in the southwest corner where Verona and Lloyd, at the intersection, there's a private residence there. There does appear to be some light trespass in that area onto the private property. I have asked the architect and engineer to take a look at that, see if there's anything we can do.
We are proposing two trees between the parking lot and the home, so we can take a look at the photometrics. Yes, yeah. So we will take a look at that.
Since this is primarily a daytime activity, what lighting requirement or suggestions are being made, A, for the parking lots and for any type of night activity in the playground area?
So they do have proposed outdoor lighting in both parking areas on the south portion of the site. Didn't know if you don't have night activities. You generally don't for the K to 3. But
I want to sit down and make sure I'm on tape here. So keeping in mind that during winter hours, in particular, that daylight ends so early in the evening, that school goes through 3:45. Buses don't exit the site generally until 3:45, 4 o'clock. Teachers may be there for some time after. So the likelihood is during multiple months of the school year is that there will be folks going on the back side of that building into a dark parking lot area. So there needs to be some lighting there. And then also just from a safety, security perspective, that area does become, it is secluded. It's not easily seen from the main street. So assuring that dark areas and places like that tend to invite vandalism and other challenges, so we're trying to avoid some of that concern as well. And then lastly, for folks in the neighborhood who do want to come and shoot basketball and that kind of thing later in the evening, having at least some residual lighting to accommodate that, be a service to the community.
I think this was just they had a preliminary light plan, and I know with some of the new technology with LED lighting, we can be much more specific on where the direction of that light will go, so I'm sure we can work something out.
Yeah, I know they were using downlights only that were limiting light pollution, so we maybe need to just change some positions, that kind of thing, but I think it could be addressed.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
There were a couple other comments from Fire. They wanted a 5-inch storage connection, which they'll take care of, annunciator panel in the main entrance, and 20-foot wide access at Maplewood, which they had talked about and they've already done. Engineering indicated that if there's no change in the students or staff, that there will be no cost for additional sewer tap fees. So I think that's the case. Is that correct? That's all I had, sir.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Logue, did you have anything you wanted to throw in here, or you're good?
I'm good. I had a few questions, but commission members and David already asked them.
Okay, great. Anything else, Kirsty?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, thank you very much. The report from the city planner, Mr. Logue.
Sure.
Good afternoon.
A few items that may be of interest to the Planning Commission. The first of which, I imagine the four of you are well aware. This is a census year, 2020 census. There's a team of us, myself included, that are working really hard to try to get awareness about the census. April 1st is Census Day. Many people will be able to start filling out their census forms as early as March 12th next week. We all should be receiving information in the mail from the Census Bureau. The goal from the Census Bureau standpoint, it is a digital census this year, and so you'll be able to complete the forms online, either through your phone or on a desktop. Of note specifically is that the census blocks within the city of Athens that are the off-campus housing neighborhoods are the lowest reporting census tracts in the state of Ohio, both in 2010 and in 2000. So we are putting together a big effort to try to get the word out to off-campus housing students and et cetera, that it is their responsibility to complete the census forms where they live. If they're living in Athens for more than 50% of the year, they are supposed to fill it out in Athens, not in their home community where their parents live or where they grew up. So we are trying to really work closely with landlords, students, the university. There's a whole team of us trying to get that word out to students. That number is really important for a lot of reasons. I think we're all pretty much aware of that. To getting an accurate census count, it does equal to money for grants, for roads, for public assistance, for Pell Grants. All of those things are tied to that census number. Other item I wanted to, two other items, or three, I guess. The Historic Preservation Commission has been working for a while now to work with uptown property owners to try to get a local designation for the historic uptown district, which would bring a review process with it. I'm working with them. They're going to have some sort of a meeting with some property owners in the month of March, trying to finalize a date and all of that information that may be coming forward. Also, City Council is working. Our Sustainability Commission had a meeting last evening. Planning commissioners may recall about a year and a half ago, the city went through a process called Soul Smart, where we did a review of our city codes for solar readiness, and there was a few recommendations to changing sections of our zoning code to better facilitate solar. My understanding is that City Council will be coming forward soon with a resolution asking the Planning Commission to review the language that was recommended at that point. There's several things that are going on with respect to Earth Day. There's the 50th anniversary of Earth Day next month, and so we're looking at ways that we can try to move forward with Earth sustainability initiatives in the month of April. And lastly, the City Comprehensive Plan, final edits to the draft document, really just doing photograph layout and things like that. I expect that we'll have a draft, I'd like to think, maybe as early as the next Planning Commission meeting. That's all. Thank you.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Logue? Thank you, Mr. Logue. Mr. Riggs?
Yeah, I had a couple of things, if you would allow me. This is the Harold Avenue. We talked about this once before, and we tried to get it on for a communication that we weren't timely enough. This is going to be a major subdivision, and we tried to combine it with the road, new Harold Avenue Road extension. And what you'll see at the next, hopefully at the next Planning Commission, is a communications on this major subdivision. A couple things I'd note here is that there is an existing alleyway that we're recommending be vacated. Hoon properties actually a building sits right on top of that now, so that needs to be vacated, and this will be a proposed 3-lot split. Additionally, if you look at the third tract, there's an existing stormwater detention easement that the city would be willing to vacate if and when a new storm sewer goes in place. So you'd end up with 3 developable lots on this proposed major subdivision. Again, this is just for your information. We'll do communications at the next Planning Commission. Also coming up for future Planning Commission, we have Morrison Elementary or Middle School will be coming in for communications, and then we possibly also have a PUD revision at 10 Mill Iron, major revision to existing PUD.
I forgot to ask them at the end, do you know when they're coming back as a case?
They would like to come back, I believe, at the next Planning Commission. So if I can get myself in gear and get the stuff on their site, we'll try to do that at the next Planning Commission.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Mr. Riggs?
I just want to comment that I don't think it's a problem to delay it a little bit because you get more communications out. There's a lot of information flowing back and forth.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
Okay.
Considering they waited this long from the last time.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. Opportunity for citizens to speak. Nothing here right now. Okay. Announcements and other business. Our next meeting will be March 19, 2020. With the work of the Athens City Planning Commission completed, this meeting stands adjourned.